Jake's really good with film breakdowns. He's from brownsfilmbreakdown.com. So we're going to take a look at a couple of the sacks. Take us through what you see when you break down the film of some of these sacks. And I think we did 2 or 3 of them. But take us through what you have here.
Yeah, so they were sacked 8 times. It's obviously a variety of responsibility on these plays, and we can run it and play through some of these, and I can kind of briefly talk about each one. But the Giants blitzed double the rate that they have blitzed the entire season in this particular game. So they were coming after the Browns on early downs, and when they got creative coming after the Browns, like, you have to have an answer. If you don't have an answer for some of these things, then you're going to struggle, obviously, to be able to come up with like quick solutions if you're not expecting blitz. Like on the left side, you're going to see Amari Cooper is the answer. You have to understand which side are these guys coming from. You're going to see 23 kind of loop around and come off the edge, and the Giants are going to get creative and take the safety sitting in the second level and wheel him out to the middle safety. It's man coverage everywhere. So that deep safety, the middle free, comes down and cuts off the drag route. Like Amari Cooper on the left side, you'll see there's nobody there to take away his inside slant that, some people call this a glance. It's fine. He's up there on the 40-yard line. He's the answer on the left side. You have to stare into the teeth of the blitz and then throw that football. So it's a quarterback processing thing on this one, because you have to understand they're bringing 6 people. You do not have enough people to block 6 people. So if they're coming from depth, you have to get this football out at the top of your drop. And his eyes are on the right side, kind of hanging on to Jerry Jeudy's route, not processing that the blitz came off the left edge, which is unblocked, and creating an overload on his left side. And look, if you see right there, Amari Cooper is your answer for a first down at the top of the screen. So that's the stuff you gotta be able to solve on the fly. Like, defenses are going to continue to try to change the picture on the quarterback pre-snap to post-snap. So he has to have an answer. He has to be quicker with it. So he's not always the one to blame. There's certainly other situations where offensive line are going to need to be better, right? They got to solve some things up there. I actually think one of the next few snaps that we'll take a look at, it is the offensive line that doesn't handle a twist stunt. They're just not handling stunt stuff as well as they need to. So if we want to fast forward, we can jump to the next one, past this one, and try to take a look at just one more. It's a great example of, like, it's not just on Watson all the time to be able to solve these things, right? So, and this is a good look from the quarterback's perspective, where, we have someone taking coverage look, dropping a guy deep middle. You can see the player running from the second level to the deep middle, that safety coming down to cut it. And then you have to get your eyes left side and be ready to throw that football to Amari, and his eyes don't find the left side. I'm not even sure he ever saw the edge blitzer coming off of the left side. So that's where the problem is. And Cooper's there on the left side of the screen as an open option. And then, the Browns also put themselves in some third and longs where they have an opportunity to throw the football downfield, and due to some stunt stuff up front, they don't handle it the right way. This is actually the second play here is an example of the scheme not having an answer. And then I think the third play, which is probably the one we should stop after because these go a little long, but this play is where's Watson supposed to go with the ball? These are downfield routes that take some time to develop. At the time of arrival of a 6-man rush, where are you going with that football? We haven't had any in break from Amari down there at the bottom of the screen. Jerry Jeudy is on a corner settle. We call that a swirl route. So if he was continuing vertical there, you have an opportunity to maybe throw that ball out there with anticipation. But if he's stopping the route and he hasn't even come out close to the break point yet, where is this football going? Everything is covered up. This is a great example of everything getting covered up in a way that's okay, you need some quicker movement routes to provide your quarterback with an answer. So it's, but like I said, the next one is an opportunity where they get a dig route open over the middle of the field on third and long, and the center guards don't handle a twist stunt, and one of the defensive tackles come free and sack the quarterback before the route can come open that is going to be wide open, Jerry Jeudy. So it's everybody, man. It's everybody on every snap, and you'll have 10 guys do the right thing and one guy doesn't. And it's just, the frustrating part is that it's so much easier when you can say, well, it's the left guard. If we just replace the left guard, or we just replace the quarterback, that will solve the issues. And I don't know that is an answer that's sitting there, something that's clean enough that's going to solve everything. And there's obviously you can get a little raise and a bump from maybe changing who's calling the plays or maybe changing the quarterback or to raises the temperature in the room and everybody's hyper focused. I don't know. I don't have that answer. I'm not in there enough to know who's really helping or hurting in terms of off-field stuff, but I just know that the pressure is pretty real right now, that they need to get to solving this quickly.
Yeah, and when you talk about processing, ball's not coming out quick enough, and it could be because it's a relatively new scheme for him as well. Being
It is. I mean,
Watson,
it's a lot of yeah. It's a lot of stuff that he's been comfortable with though in his career. The difference for Watson is he used to be a magician at getting out of the situations that we just watched on tape and creating big plays with his legs and big plays in out of structure moments as he leaves the pocket. But he used to be a better pocket passer. There is something there, and it's probably largely driven by not playing football for like 2.5 years. He played 9 games over 3 years. He is not good enough when pressure. His pressure data, which we haven't looked at when pressure arrives, is bleak. And when teams are blitzing, it's even more bleak. Like, older you get, the less athletic you get, and you need to win with your mind more and your ability to process things out and be a step in front of the defense. And can pretty firmly say that right now he is a step behind the defense. So I'm always careful not to place holistic blame on one person unless it's obvious. I do think there are times when the surrounding talent is letting Watson down, but it's also fair to be like, hey, we paid 230 million. We thought this guy was going to be somebody who could overcome a bad offensive line or injuries or help our receivers become the best versions of themselves and be a guy who uplifts instead of a guy you can win with if everything's going perfectly. And the disappointing part is that he is a win with quarterback. And there's sometimes where he's been bad enough that even if you have everybody playing around him, he is not winning, winning with him. So he needs to be better. He's got to be better. And I think that everybody in that locker room is probably saying the same thing about pretty much everybody finding the field right now. They have to collectively be better.